Hi guys, welcome to another video. Yeah, a while back I made a video on creatine. I was talking about creatine along with protein powders, and I guess at the time it was kind of like I guess I felt a somewhat obligatory video because it seemed like you can't have a health and fitness channel without talking about creatine and protein, because it just tends to be such a staple marker people kind of like gravitate towards. And like a big part of that is because obviously as time's gone on, we find ourselves at a point where health and fitness has become really on the rise. It's become really marketable, and so you're getting all of these health products, health supplements, coming through thick and fast, and a lot of them are kind of like new, so there's quite a few unknowns with them. Whereas, you basically, we could just end up blindly taking them, and then like 20 years from now, we could be like, oh no, we're turning into a hyena or something. But there's no such problem that we're creating. Obviously, creatine has been is something that's been around since the beginning of time. It's obviously a natural occurring compound found in your body, so it's a very tried and tested thing. So that's a big part as well why people so much kind of tend to still gravitate towards it. Yeah, basically when I made that video, I was really talking primarily because of how creatine affects your muscles and the role it plays in kind of like your physical performance at the gym. I was basically saying that how creatine will basically essentially manifest itself in terms of that is when you go to a gym, you'll find that maybe you could lift about 2 to 3 more reps in your sets, than maybe you otherwise would. You know what I mean? So I felt like whether there would be, so well, I could conclude that there was a benefit to creatine. I did feel like it was somewhat overstated in some ways as well, because I felt like I wasn't really one of those people who would put creatine on a pedestal and basically, kind of treat it as this somewhat holy grail, and that if you didn't take creatine, then all of your gym workouts were going to be in vain. Because for at the end of the day, if you get into a routine at the gym long term and you maintain that, then over a course of time you're going to see gains regardless of whether you take creatine or not. While I do kind of like stand by that, I feel like that as since making that video, I've learned more and more about creatine. I felt like and I've learned about there being studies and research that have basically showed how creatine kind of goes beyond muscles and physical performance, and how it basically crosses that blood barrier, and improves cognitive function, and the impact that it has on brain health has been a lot. We're learning more and more each day about how the role it plays in brain health. We are learning that it does play a critical role in their physical metabolism. We know that like 95% of creatine is stored in the skeletal muscles. We kind of, that's why I guess like kind of like a lot of like gymnasts like ourselves tend to more kind of like talk about creatine along with kind of like muscle growth and muscle performance and whatnot. But yeah, we are basically learning more and more about how, because of that, supplementation at like higher doses is having an effect on brain health. There have been studies where subjects, for example, have been sleep deprived. For example, when they've taken creatine at a higher level, they've taken like say between 20-25 grams of creatine, and basically over a period of time, by the way, I would recommend taking 20 to 25 milligrams in 20 to 25 grams, sorry, in like one go, just because you run the risk of having like digestive discomfort, stuff like that. So but basically we want to talk about 5 to 10 grams grams, spread over, say like a 24-hour period. And what we're basically finding out is those higher doses of like 20 to 25 grams of creatine basically we're reversing the symptoms associated with sleep deprivation. That is, they were improving cognitive function, reducing fatigue, improving memory, and all of that. And yeah, I find those studies and research really intriguing. A big part of that is because, as you who know me personally will know, that I lost my dad to dementia. So as I kind of like look at my own kind of like health, and I look at the fact that I'm a father in my 40s. Obviously, I think about that sort of stuff. So yeah, kind of brain health is like a real kind of a focal point for me. So yeah, I do find all of our like research and the studies very intriguing. So yeah, basically, like I said, as people who take creatine regularly will know that while there's a kind of like general consensus, a lot of us will take like one of the like 5 grams scoops of creatine and basically a day, and just kind of like consider that to be enough. And basically what we'll find is any sort of like higher doses will basically would tend to get used a lot more for kind of like loading purposes, if you like. So basically, if you were taking those 5 grams of creatine on a daily basis, then it could take like maybe like about a month before it gets into your system. Where some people take like higher doses just as this kind of like loading phase to get it kind of like into your system a lot quicker. So the effects are basically felt after like say a week, say, rather than say like a month. But yeah, these studies show that those higher doses of supplementation beyond that are kind of like having these effects on their cognitive function and stuff like that. I do find really positive. I do find really hopeful. Obviously, we can take all of these studies and research and use it as a kind of jumping off point to say that creatine, is like a cure or a treatment now for like dementia or Alzheimer's. Obviously, we're not there yet. Obviously, more research is required. But like I said, I do find it very positive and very hopeful thing. And yeah, I think because so many influencers basically out there kind of like just squarely focus on how creatine affects like the muscles and performance, I kind of like really wanted to make this video just to kind of like share it and show and talk about and raise awareness of the positives that creatine have beyond muscle performance, and how it does positively impact brain health. Yeah, that pretty much wraps it up. So yeah, thank you guys for taking the time to watch this short video. If you enjoyed this video and you want to see more, don't forget to ring a bell for notifications. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Please feel free to let me know down in the comment section about what your own thoughts are. Do you take creatine regularly? Are you somebody who takes creatine at a higher dosage regularly? Well, what have you been? What have your own experiences with that been? All of that stuff. Let me know down in the comment section. And yeah, thank you again for taking the time to watch this video. Please like and subscribe. This is a new channel that I'm really trying to get passionate about getting off the ground. So where your support is be gratefully appreciated. So yeah, hit the bell for notifications. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And I will see you guys in the next video. You guys take care.